Guys, are you ready to get her attention? Are you ready for her ears to tingle? Well, today we're going to give you everything you need to know that she really wants to hear. Find out right now. Well, welcome to the Home to Haven podcast. It's another week, another episode. Thanks so much for tuning in, for listening. If it's your first time, this is your home for faith-filled content that helps you communicate in your relationship. Thanks for joining us. We are the Turners. If it's your first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Or if you're listening on all the major platforms, do a rate the podcast. It just helps us rank a little bit higher and other people like yourself to find the podcast. We're so excited today. We've been having some issues because we're here. And have you ever tried to get into a website or your account and you have this double, triple authentication NASA?
You have to have a code. You have to confirm that it's you on another device. Right. It's multi-steps. It's I have my username and I have my password and I still can't get in.
I just want to order some pizza.
I just want to log on to my email on a new iPad. And I have to confirm it's me on my laptop, on my phone.
Right. So it's taken us about 20 minutes just to get into our note-taking app.
Yes, because I have a new iPad here.
Right.
And it wants to make sure, I guess, I'm not stealing my own information on a different device and gives me multiple codes to use that don't work sometimes.
That don't work. The codes don't work. And then if you save your password to remember, it won't remember the password. And I don't know what this 12-digit thing you guys came up with.
Right. Or it's I remember your password, but do you remember the password you put in for your password key? Because you need to prove that you know that before we'll give it to you.
Yeah. So that's just the real life scenario. If you've ever encountered that, let us know. Put in the comments. We'd love to hear your story about the authentication.
The technology these days.
Yes. It is. It's quite the
little
adventure.
Complex. We got AI working with us too. So
whatever.
We'll get through it.
So
we are getting through it.
What do you really want to hear today?
Yeah. Is it a mystery to you? Do you think you know what I want to hear?
Got no clue. No, you want to hear I love you and Jen's the best.
Oh, okay. So jumping right in. So we're talking about things that women like to hear in their relationship.
Well, both of us.
And then also what the men like to hear. And are they basically the same? Are they different? Is it kind of universal towards, generally everyone? So do you want me to jump right in and say some things that...
Why not?
What I like and need to hear in a relationship?
Well, I think it's important before we even get there that we understand this, because we've talked about love languages.
Yes.
But it's also important to know what each other needs to hear and what you need to say. Mm-hmm. What's she looking for? Mm-hmm. Because, the old book, guys are from Mars, women are from Venus. We communicate differently. Mm-hmm. We also hear differently.
Right. And
we're looking for different things to be said. And so a lot of times I know in my own life and guys that I've counseled, they're giving 2, 3, 4-word answers.
Okay.
And it's you got to go a little bit deeper.
Right.
And you got to ask questions. Not just
right.
Good, great.
Exactly. Where the other person feels like they're trying to pull something out of them or get, I'm trying to get something from you and all I'm getting is no.
And the guy might just be totally clueless, have no idea that she's looking for more. So that's why you're listening and watching today. It's going to help you.
That's
so
right.
What do women need to hear? Is it the same for every woman? Because women are complex creatures.
That's right. Everybody, we do talk about how people have different love languages. So that might play a part in some of these things, but there are, I think, some universal phrases or at least things to communicate to your partner that they really do need to hear.
All right.
So you already jokingly said, I think the top one is for you to say, I love you.
Okay.
Just those 3 simple words, right? We say.
Why is that? Because I feel like that is something that all girls want. Even high school. It's just say those 3 words. I don't want to be the one that says it first. I want him to say I love. What is it about I love you to a woman why is that?
Well, I think one part of it is you're proving in a sense, or you're admitting that you have feelings and they run deep. And I was going to, bounce off that a little bit and say, I don't want to just hear I love you after I say it.
Okay.
I want you to be the one to say it first. So that might play a little bit of the back and forth game, like you mentioned when you're dating, like who's going to say it first.
Oh, yeah, my anthem was "You ain't gonna hold me down."
What does that mean?
That was "They ain't gonna hold me down." Yeah.
Okay. Until you found the right one.
I guess. Yes.
Okay. So, sometimes you might feel like as the girl, I'm just kind of generalizing that you're always the one saying I love you or texting that or initiating the conversations of how do you feel. So I think it goes down to I want you to be pursuing me, to have the initiative and have the deep enough feelings that you want to profess your love to me.
Okay.
And now that we're 10 years into our relationship, I still want to know that it's there. And you might say, well, don't you know that I already love you because of everything I do for you day in and day out, that I'm here at the house.
I'm here. I provide. I pay the bills. I'm a great father.
So you're showing that love or you're demonstrating that love in other ways. And I'm not saying that it's not showing me that, but just those simple words of I love you makes a big difference.
Okay.
Does that matter to you? Like if I just stopped saying I love you, would you notice if I never said love you, bye,
Probably.
or I love you in our just conversations? I know we say it a lot at the end of phone calls or as we're leaving, but would you notice if I just...
Probably, but it probably wouldn't, for me, it probably wouldn't weigh as much if your actions still communicated love. So if you were still, as you are, taking care of me, asking me, what do I need? Can I get you anything? Can I go downstairs? If you were still serving me in that way, I'm like, I don't care,
Okay.
You show me in your attitude and in your efforts and actions that you care.
Yeah.
So, why do you think gentlemen or guys struggle at saying I love you?
I think some people are just hesitant to, number one, be, like you said, be the first one or put yourself out there and be vulnerable if you don't know the other person reciprocates quite yet, or always being the one, again, to always initiate and always be the one to put yourself out there.
Right.
Versus more back and forth.
So I think we could stop the conversation right here, that you could change and you will change your woman's day if you just say, random, baby, I love you.
I know. And I was just going to say, it's also the way you said it, right? It's not just love you, bye.
Right.
Or, that quick.
So don't do the I love you, bye. Like here's your challenge. When she leaves to go to the store or take the kids or whatever it is, how you normally be like, hey, bye, just grab her arm as she turns around and just say, baby, I love you. And just watch if that doesn't just...
Or even, I was going to say she's in the kitchen cooking dinner, busy doing other things.
Okay.
Just grab me then and just look in my eyes and say, I love you.
Right.
See what happens. Right?
Okay.
See what happens. But yes, I feel like a big part of that is hearing words that show your feelings of love. Is a big one. Do you want me to keep going? Because you said the conversation could end there.
We're kind of like partying on this, but just that's a freebie. Like that doesn't cost you any amount of money.
Exactly.
That's not going on vacation, date night. That's none of the things we all say. That's just something that we literally take for granted. And 3 words that you can communicate to your spouse that will change their day. It could change the trajectory of your relationship. It changes everything.
Changes the mood.
The mood, the atmosphere, just everything, just by you and your tone can literally point the entire day, week in a completely different direction. So we challenge you to do that.
That's right. So main ones that I wanted to lead with were phrases that show that you love me or value me.
Okay.
Some other simple ones would be, you look amazing.
Okay.
Like to hear that you find me physically attractive too.
Okay.
Do you want me to just list off some other ones?
Yeah.
So I thought of some other ones.
Tell us what you guys need to hear.
There's no one else I'd rather be with.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
I appreciate everything you do.
That's a good one.
I'm rooting for you. So I really like when you're like, hey, baby, I'm on your side. Go get them. I know you got this. Kind of pump up like pep talk.
Okay.
And of course, another simple one I feel like that really shows love and appreciation is just saying thank you. So thank you for just things that you're doing throughout the day. You know, you can elaborate on that, but a lot of the times we're just going back and forth doing our day-to-day activities. You can also just grab them and say, hey, baby, thank you so much for everything you're doing today or whatever they happen to be doing in the moment.
Okay.
Those are some top ones.
All right.
For love and value.
Okay.
I have a few more. You want me to keep going?
Let's go. Yeah. Teach us.
I also need to hear words that demonstrate that we're connected. So words that are showing we have a strong connection.
My.
So when we're talking, especially about, you know, deeper, more important things, saying, you know, I understand. I know.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
That's really important, especially if the person is struggling with relaying something to you. So when you're like, I hear you, I understand. Again, we're on the same team.
Or I'm trying to hear. I'm trying to understand. Even if you don't get it.
Yes.
I'm trying. I'm attempting.
That's been important, I feel like.
I'm making the effort to understand. I'm making the effort to hear what you're saying.
Right. You're not getting upset or mad at me or yelling. You're like, I'm trying to understand. Like, help me.
Help me get it.
Help me get there.
It's not clicking.
Right. One of the other great things is saying, you're my best friend.
Wow. Okay.
And I can't wait to spend time with you or hang out with you to show you that, you know, we are still connected.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I do also like to hear you say, I miss you. Mm-hmm. We've talked about that one a little bit in our relationship.
Yeah, I don't say that often.
Or I wish you were here.
Yeah, I don't say that. Well, I do say that one sometimes.
You do say that one sometimes.
Yeah.
And then finally, I had a few that really just demonstrate that you have respect for me.
Okay.
As your wife, as the mom to your children. So, you know, things like you're great at what you do. Mm-hmm. You do so much. You're an amazing wife. You're an amazing mom. And, you know, specific things like you're really smart.
Okay.
Or you're really blank. And then, you know, I trust you with the situation, or I trust your decision. I trust your opinion. And then also working through conflict, just hearing you say, I apologize that's a good one, right? Is really important.
That's a very important one.
So those are some high ranking phrases that I like to hear from you specifically.
How often do we need to say these things?
Well, I think you need to be saying some of those things every day.
Yep.
So making that connection, showing your love, appreciation, working through conflict. I've heard it say that you need to be saying, this is something that someone else talks about, but you need to be saying 5 positive things for every 1 negative thing that you might need to address with your partner. And that just kind of fills them up so that you can work through those more negative, situations or those conflicts.
Yeah, I would say, because you know who can tally that stuff.
Yeah, but, you're not like marking it down.
I would go back through at the end of your day, you know, if you have that personal devotion time with the Lord, and saying, you know, okay, what did I demonstrate? Did I communicate more positive things today, or did I kind of ream into my family? Right. And was it more negative? And then make the deposit or withdrawal as need be.
Deposits or withdrawals are a good example of, are you depositing into them instead of always taking things away from them? Yep.
What do you guys think about that list? We'd love to comment below and tell us, you know, if you agree with those things. Do you have things that you want to hear, ladies? Do you have things that you don't want to hear? What are the things you don't want to hear?
I don't like to hear, again, a lot of negativity, or if you have something to address, that's fine, but you either offer a solution or you say, let's work towards this instead of just focusing on the one issue that you have. Yep. Now, do those things that I said kind of are the same towards you, or you don't feel like you have specific things you want to hear?
No, I don't believe they are the same.
Okay.
Because we are different creatures. We have different DNAs. We have different makeups. I believe the Lord kind of made it that way. Mm-hmm. And so as I'm sitting here thinking, it's leaning more towards emotions, and that's okay. You guys are definitely more internal creatures. And we hear this communication of communicating love, right? Women, they operate in the currency of love. Men are the exact opposite. We operate in the currency of respect. Mm-hmm. And so I want to hear things that validate your respect for me.
Okay.
And so I like to hear things as, you're the greatest at what you do. Okay. You're an awesome husband, that you validate who I am as a husband and as a role as a father.
Okay.
Babe, I respect your decision, or, when you communicate, what is it that you want us to do?
Yes.
How do you want me to do this? When I hear that communicates to me, she validates my opinion. She's looking to me to make a decision.
Right.
She respects me in terms of what I have to say. You're not telling me what you want me to do or what you've already done.
Right. Exactly.
So I think we're very, very simple. Mm-hmm. And so one of the important things, and there's a book that calls Love and Respect. And so we read that, and that as ladies, as you communicate love, he's going to give you more respect. No. Yes. And as I communicate love to you, you're going to communicate more respect to me. And so in Ephesians 5, God gives us this, he gives us this, not seesaw, but this reciprocal relationship of submitting yourselves one to another.
Right.
And so as I yield and demonstrate love to you, and as you demonstrate respect to me, it goes back and forth, and we both get fulfilled. Mm-hmm. But I also want to lean on the scripture saying that the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife. Like how you communicate to me is really going to show there's nothing I won't do for you because of how you value and communicate respect for me. And I communicated yesterday about like, hey, thank you for making life easy, because I deal with so much in my other parts of life that if you were nagging or just not cool, it would be too much for me to handle. But you make home so easy, and I'm so grateful for that.
And you took the time to communicate that to me, which again, to me is showing love, that you love me for who I am and how I can benefit your life as well. So that's pouring into me what I need to hear. And then it's also displaying to me your actual feelings, which I think women are looking for. Like what are you feeling in there?
Right.
Not just the straight up and down, solely respect. Like, where's the love? Where's the love?
Where's the love?
Yeah.
Where is the
But you're
love?
saying you don't really need that as much, which personally, I feel like that's hard to understand. And I won't say hard to understand, but it's just different.
We need it, but we need it in a different way.
Right.
When you respect me, I feel loved.
Okay.
When you validate me, I feel loved.
Gotcha.
When you honor me, I feel loved.
Versus,
I don't necessarily, I love you. Okay.
Right.
Right.
And you have been like that sometimes of like, okay, and?
Right, and?
And I'm like, that's the most powerful phrase I can ever say to you is I love you. And sometimes you were like, give me more, and what is that?
Right. What is that? What is love?
That's your like starting point, where that's like my end all be all. Like,
sure.
You're the only man I'm saying I love you to. That should mean a whole bunch. That should mean a lot. Like that's really deep.
Whereas that doesn't cross my mind.
Exactly.
And again, personally, I don't know if that's just Jen. I don't know if that's women. Right. I don't know if that's just makeup. Feel free to weigh in.
Yeah, I would love to hear other people's opinions on that. Of just that simple phrase of "I love you," because that is really important for me to say.
Sure.
Like, I don't just throw that out to.
And I don't. Yeah. I say it, but it has different meanings.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because I'll say I love you to people at church. I'll say I love you to, just communicating the God kind of love. But of course, when I say I love you to you, it's a different kind of love.
Right.
But for me, I don't say it as often because I feel like I'm doing those things or I'm demonstrating my love to you.
Yeah.
And so I would challenge men to be more mindful of those things that we're hearing what our spouses need to hear. So making a note again, it's simple. I love you. You're great. You mean the world to me. I appreciate what you did. I saw this. I see you, just those little things that make no sense to us. It means everything to them, and things that we as men take for granted that we would never click. That's what she is. She's praying on the altar. God, please.
Yeah.
Those are things she needs to hear.
So it's really important that you even have that conversation with your partner, right? Because just even talking through that can reveal so many things. Of just talking that out of, that's what that means to you when you say that. Oh, that's what you really have underlying. Or for me, like those words are exclusive for you.
Sure.
So just kind of communicating that and relaying that to your partner will help immensely.
Love it. So those are things that your partner needs to hear. And so we talked about love and respect. We've got something brand new for you. Speaking of love and respect, we have for you. Are you ready for this? It's we have our home prayer guide.
Yes.
And now we have 5 powerful prayers that your relationship needs. So it's our relationship prayer guide.
That's right.
Again, a relationship prayer guide, 5 powerful prayers your relationship needs to last. And the second page, I'm giving you a little sneak peek. It's number 2. It is love and respect. So we're going to give you a prayer you can pray that would help you communicate love and respect in your relationship. So that's a prayer you need to pray.
That's right.
That can cause your relationship to last.
That's right. I love that. The exclusive podcast listeners get to hear one of the 5 powerful prayers. But it's more than just that statement. We also give you a sample prayer.
That's right.
The scripture that it's based on.
Yep.
And these are really powerful prayers for your relationship to build that up. So it is kind of an extension of where you might have already started with your home prayer guide.
Exactly.
But we're going to get that
focus on your relationship.
Specifically for you to pray for your relationship.
That's right. So it's obviously going to be in the show notes, in the description. Click that link. If you're listening on the podcast or whatever platform you're listening to, it is in the description. You can also see the information on the screen on YouTube. You're going to go to oakhavencompany.com/5prayers, and that is where you go. Take you 15 seconds. It's yours, absolutely free. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening. So remember that this is your home for faith-filled content. Like and subscribe. Rate the podcast. Help us reach more people just like you. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. And remember that wisdom built the house.